Hey everybody, it's Dr. Charlie here. Hope you've all been doing well and had a good weekend. I am putting this video out because I have good news to share. It is in regards to new guidance from the Department of Health that came out last week regarding the measures that are currently in place in terms of our restrictions that we currently have in terms of only being able to see acute patients and our normal hours being suspended for the past few weeks with the coronavirus. Before I get into this info, if I could ask everyone a quick favor, if you can just take a second to like the video here, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, if you please like or subscribe to our channel or page here. So what you're looking at here is guidance released from the Department of Health last Saturday, May 9th. When I sent out the last video, I was under the impression that we were waiting until Bucks County was allowed to enter the yellow phase before we could reopen with our normal office hours. However, I just want to bring your attention to the top two parts that I have highlighted here. This says all such healthcare providers should consider operating protocols below throughout the COVID-19 pandemic statewide, regardless of region or county reopening color designation. Providers may resume non-urgent and elective care in addition to providing urgent and emergency care only when personal protective equipment is available and telemedicine is not clinically sufficient. So what does this mean for us? Well, it means that A, since we already have more than enough PPE available here at the office, and also in terms of telemedicine, obviously for chiropractic not being sufficient, and me unfortunately not being Yoda, I cannot use the force to adjust anyone through Bluetooth, Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, or any kind of phone calls. Well, this is our green light for us to be able to come back. We are official. We have a date. Our office will be reopening with our hours on Friday, May 22nd. So we are back. Friday, May 22nd, we will be reopening. I'll get into a little bit more of how we're going to get in touch with everyone to get everyone rescheduled, how online scheduling is going to be handled, the hours that we're going to have for everything. First, I just want to get into a little bit more detail about the new health and safety measures that are going to be in place when we reopen. So going back to the next highlighted part of the guidance from the Department of Health, I will have this whole letter up on our social media pages for our patients. This will be included in an email that's going out to explain all of these details to you guys. But in terms of the health and safety measures, they call for all patients should be screened for symptoms of COVID-19, such as a questionnaire of symptoms, including a temperature over 104, cough, shortness of breath, before arriving at the office. Social distancing should be maintained while in the office or facility. Patients should always wash or sanitize hands frequently and wear a mask. I just want to go into a little bit more detail of what this means for us, what new safety measures are now in place once we come back this Friday. So when we reopen, everyone's health and safety is what's most important to us here. So in an effort to maximize the health and safety of not only all of us here, but everyone who comes into the office, we will have the following new health and safety measures in place for the foreseeable future. So the first of those measures is a screening process, which is really just a few questions, but we're making sure that we pre-screen everyone before they come into the office. If you'd like to make an appointment, give us a call, same as you've done before. We'll figure out a day and time that works best for you, but then we just have a few questions for you. Number one is symptoms. Are you experiencing any of the symptoms with this virus? Shortness of breath, cough, fever, sore throat, or the chills. Also, we need to know if you or anyone in your household is awaiting the results of a COVID-19 test. If you or someone in your house is, unfortunately, that appointment will need to be rescheduled until the results of that test is known. Once you come into the office, what shouldn't come as a surprise to everyone at this point, masks. We're making sure that everyone coming into the office is wearing some type of face mask or face covering while they're here. Another thing, once you first come in, temperature checks. As I pointed out on the guidance letter from the Department of Health, we're really looking out for that temperature of anything over 100.4 degrees. So we're checking everyone's temperature once they come in. Anyone who has a temperature over 100 degrees, that appointment will unfortunately have to be rescheduled as well. In line with social distancing. Social distancing is still being enforced all over the place. It is still being enforced here. When you come into the office, you will see that we have taken out half of our waiting room chairs. I'm also in the process of getting a shield for the front desk. We are doing what we can to maintain that social distancing that is being encouraged from everyone. We're also along those lines before and after you get adjusted. We're trying to keep those up-close interaction times to a minimum as well. Also, what shouldn't come as a surprise to everybody, we're encouraging frequent hand washing here. We have plenty of hand sanitizer on hand. Christine and Lee will be wearing gloves. If I am not wearing gloves while I adjust you, I will be getting my fair dose of hand sanitizer while I'm adjusting you afterwards. In terms of cleaning and disinfecting the office, your treatment tables, the treatment tables here are being cleaned and disinfected after each person is on them, and we're making sure that we are cleaning the surfaces, the waiting room chairs, any door handles, any of those common touch points that we all come into contact with. We'll be sure that we'll be cleaning and disinfecting them on an every half-hour basis while we're open. As far as scheduling goes going forward from here, like I just mentioned before, we're really trying to minimize those up close interactions that we have with everybody, not only with us here in the office, but the various people coming in and out of the office to get adjusted. So we are making some changes to our scheduling. We are trying to add a little bit more time in between patients, obviously, give us enough time to have everything cleaned down after one person leaves and have everything disinfected and cleaned for when that next person comes in. The last thing we are trying to do is really back up and pack our waiting room with everything going on. In terms of our online scheduling, some of those times will be being taken out as well, just to be in line with what we said before. We're really not trying to back up and have all that many people in our waiting room at any given time. What I'm doing with the scheduling, the online scheduling site will be back up and online at 8 o'clock tonight. Before opening that up, I have been in the process of contacting anyone who's been scheduled over these past few weeks and giving them a chance to get back on the schedule before that is open. So as of 8 o'clock tonight, the online scheduling site will be open to see any appointment times, day and times will be available that you would like to sign up for once we reopen on the 22nd. Another thing to take into account, we are not back to our full schedule just yet. With the stay-at-home order in place for our county, southeastern Pennsylvania, until now, June 4th, hopefully, unless that is extended. For the next 2 to 4 weeks, we are going to run a little bit of a modified schedule. And what that means is just that we are going to open just a little bit later, and we're going to be closing just a little bit earlier. We will be back to our normal hours of full strength once that stay-at-home order is lifted. One last thing before closing this up. Now that we're allowed to reopen, we do have some guidelines that are in place for us to be able to reopen in a safe manner, to be able to maximize that health and safety of everyone. We've just talked about the health and safety measures that will be in place here, and also how our scheduling is impacted by that. Something else that will be in place when we come back is a financial hardship payment program. This is something I've talked about before, and it will now be in place once we come back. There's just no two ways about this virus. It has sucked the last couple of weeks. It has hit people hard financially in ways that none of us have really ever seen before. People have been furloughed. People have been laid off. And if you haven't been furloughed or laid off, a lot of people have just been hit hard financially by all this. This payment plan is my way of helping everyone get back on track. Before we closed up, a lot of people were coming in on a regular basis, on a certain frequency, to be able to stay on top of things. Keep your pain at a minimum, help keep you going. And now that we've been closed down, that's been taken away from everyone. And everyone has now, in addition to those who might be hurting financially, now you're physically hurting as well. So this plan is just my way of helping everyone get back on track, get back on a routine, come in, get the treatment that you need, and will allow a little additional time to be able to pay that balance down over time. If you'd like to know more information about this, we do have the plan here. Like I said, give us a call, come into the office. We'd be happy to explain more of it to you. If you've been hit hard financially by this, let us know. We will let you know about this program and find out different ways that we'll be able to help you out through all this. So that is all the info that I wanted to share with you guys here. It's official. The Department of Health has cleared the way for us to reopen. We will do so this Friday, the 22nd. As far as everything I talked about in this video here, new health and safety measures that are in place, the online scheduling site for current patients to go on to will be back up at 8 p.m. tonight, and also our financial hardship payment program. If you have any questions or need any more info about that, or if you'd like to make an appointment, reach out to me, shoot me an email, or give the office a call. One last time, if I could ask that last quick favor of everybody, like the video here if you haven't done so already, give it a thumbs up, and like or subscribe to our page or channel here. Have a great week, everyone. I will see you back here this Friday, the 22nd. Take care.